You entered correctly. The market moved exactly as expected. Profit appeared on the screen, and yet you closed the trade early. Minutes later, price continued moving in the same direction without you. Few experiences in trading are as psychologically draining as this one. Not because you lost money, but because you proved your analysis was right and still failed to capture the full outcome. Over time, this pattern can prevent growth. Many traders assume their main problem is avoiding losses. In reality, a large number struggle more with managing profitable positions. Holding a winning trade requires a different form of discipline, one that feels unnatural because success itself creates pressure. Responsibility starts here. Before entry, risk is theoretical. You accept the possibility of loss as part of the plan. You calculate position size, define your stop, and prepare for uncertainty. But once profit appears, the situation changes. That number is no longer hypothetical. It begins to feel real, almost like money already secured. It becomes tangible. From that moment forward, every fluctuation becomes emotionally significant. A small pullback no longer looks like normal market behavior. It feels like loss. It feels like something valuable slipping away. Consider a typical sequence. You analyze carefully, wait patiently, and execute with confidence. The market responds. Price moves steadily in the anticipated direction. At first, the experience is reassuring. Your preparation seems validated. You feel the satisfaction of being right. Then the market pauses. Objectively, nothing important has changed. Trends rarely move in straight lines. Consolidation is normal, but psychologically, uncertainty expands. Direction is no longer obvious, and the mind begins generating possible negative scenarios. You start watching the chart more intensely. Your posture shifts. You lean closer to the screen. The outside world fades. Each tick feels important. The profit number becomes the focal point of your entire attention. When price dips slightly, tension appears almost immediately. Shoulders tighten, breathing becomes shallow. Your body reacts before your conscious mind forms a thought. This is not weakness. It is a survival mechanism responding to perceived loss. The brain interprets the shrinking profit as something being taken away from you. Even though the trade is still positive, it feels as if you are losing money in real time. Logic still exists, but it feels distant and secondary. You may remind yourself that pullbacks are normal. You recall your target and the reasoning behind the trade, but emotional discomfort continues to build as time passes. The market moves sideways for several minutes. Nothing dramatic happens, yet the ambiguity becomes exhausting. Waiting feels harder than acting. We prefer action. Thoughts begin to accelerate. What if this is the top? What if the move reverses completely? What if I watch all this profit disappear and end up with nothing? Notice how the focus shifts from opportunity to protection. The goal is no longer to maximize gains, but to avoid the crushing weight of regret. It feels unsafe. Eventually, another downward movement occurs. The profit decreases further. Now discomfort crosses a threshold. Remaining in the trade feels like an unnecessary risk. Your hand moves toward the mouse almost automatically. Closing the trade promises immediate relief. It converts uncertain profit into guaranteed solid gain. Emotionally, certainty feels far safer than possibility. So you exit. Instantly, tension fades. Your body relaxes. The heavy uncertainty disappears. You are safe. You tell yourself it was a responsible decision. After all, securing profit is better than risking it. For a brief moment, everything feels resolved and correct. But the market has not finished moving. Price stabilizes, then resumes trending in the original direction, slowly at first, then with increasing, undeniable momentum. The move you anticipated unfolds exactly as expected, except you are no longer part of it. Relief transforms into a deep, familiar regret. You were right. You replay the exit in your mind. You calculate how much more you could have earned. You question your patience, your discipline, and your confidence as a trader. Over time, repeated experiences like this can erode trust in your ability to execute. You begin to fear your own reactions more than the market itself. Some traders respond by taking profits even earlier next time to avoid the pain. Others hold losing trades too long to compensate. Both come from the same issue. Psychologists call this loss aversion. Humans experience the pain of losing something more strongly than the pleasure of gaining something of equal value. It's biological. Once profit appears, giving it back feels like loss. Another factor is the illusion of control. Closing the trade feels like taking decisive action to protect yourself. Remaining in the trade requires accepting that the market, not you, determines the final outcome. Professional traders address this by removing emotion. They define exit criteria before entering the trade: targets, trailing stops, and structural invalidation points provide objective guidance when feelings fluctuate. Experienced traders accept that profits will expand and contract before reaching their full potential. Pullbacks are not obstacles, they are part of how markets move. Without tolerating temporary reductions, sustained gains are impossible. Consistency comes from executing a statistical edge across many trades, not from comfort. The ability to hold a winning trade is ultimately a skill developed through experience, structure, and self-awareness. It requires accepting that discomfort is normal. It requires accepting that discomfort does not necessarily signal danger. Often it simply reflects uncertainty. The next time you feel unstable, pause before acting. Ask whether the market has truly invalidated your setup or whether the discomfort is purely emotional. Sometimes the most professional action is to do nothing at all. In the long run, profitability belongs not to the trader who predicts perfectly, but to the one who allows correct trades to develop fully despite temporary discomfort. Let us delve deeper into this phenomenon. Why does our biology fight our bank accounts? To understand the panic exit, we must understand the fear of regret. The mind views a winning trade as a bird in the hand. The moment that profit fluctuates, it is as if the bird is trying to fly away. We grasp tighter and we exit. But by grasping for the certainty of small gains, we forfeit the possibility of great ones. This is the fundamental trade-off of the retail mind versus the professional mind. The retail mind seeks validation. The professional mind seeks execution of an edge. Validation requires being right immediately. Execution requires being right eventually. Your amygdala is not interested in your R multiple. It is interested in safety. Every red candle in a winning trade is a signal to your brain that safety is at risk. Mindfulness in trading is the ability to observe this biological reaction without letting it touch the mouse. It is the distance between feeling and doing. Can you feel the tightness in your chest and still keep your hands behind your back? Can you watch the profit number shrink and still believe in your analysis? This is where true profitability is forged. It is not in the entry. The entry is the easy part. The holding is where the professional separates from the amateur. Think of your trade as a living thing. It needs space to breathe. It needs room to move. If you choke it at the first sign of struggle, it can never grow. Most of the legendary moves in market history were punctuated by pullbacks that would have scared a nervous trader into an early exit. Don't be that trader. Develop the habit of walking away from the screen once your plan is set. The chart does not need your permission to trend. It only needs your absence. If your stops are in place and your targets are set, your work is done. The rest is just noise and the internal struggle for control. Surrender that control. Surrender to the probability. You cannot control the market. You can only control your reaction to it. And the best reaction is often a calm observation. We conclude this session with a reminder. Trading is a mirror. What you see in the chart is a reflection of your own internal landscape. Master that landscape. Master the silence. Master the waiting. And most importantly, master the courage to let your winners run. It is the only way to build a sustainable career. Each time you hold through a pullback, you are training your brain that uncertainty is not a threat. You are building a new, more professional identity. This identity is what carries you through the hard times. This identity is what separates the profitable from the persistent but struggling. Become that trader today. If you found value in this psychological breakdown, please join our community at Mindful Trader Lab. We are dedicated to the mental game of professional trading. Like this video to help other traders find this message. Subscribe for more deep dives into the mindset required for consistent long-term market success. Thank you for your time and your attention. Remember, the most professional action is often to do nothing at all. Trade mindfully. We will see you next time. Silence. 10 seconds of calm visual reflection.